Alrighty, Travis Wayne Goodsell. Just a heads up for YouTube employees, this is not the Wednesday video. Already put it up. You're late. So, this video is just an extra for you, the audience. A heads up for the two of you that have been checking out my new channel, Restoring Joseph Smith's Church of Christ. On my home pages of TWG and Travis Wayne Goodsell, there's the little icon of Joseph Smith and Restoring Joseph Smith's Church, as they couldn't put the whole title in. Yeah, I already have the one video after the introduction that I put on TWG and Travis Wayne Goodsell. It goes over Amen, the Christ of Joseph Smith. And so the next video I have planned is restoring the temple rituals. So, as with the Amen video, it will contain exclusive information that will not be shared on TWG and Travis Wayne Goodsell. So just a heads up. And like I said, Mormons, despite my only talking about Joseph Smith and restoring Joseph Smith's religion, Mormons are still haters. And there's one so far who purposely came to that channel to put a thumbs down. No comment, because he knows I'll ban him, and he won't be allowed to put a comment. He'll have to watch the videos, which would be a waste of his time, not signed in. It's just the hatred of Mormons. And that's what this video is going to rectify, is what would the Mormon church be like if the church were true, if it didn't need to be restored. I mean, first of all, you wouldn't have Mormons being so mean and violent and angry and anti-science, anti-government, anti-logic. Because you wouldn't have the infiltration of Brigham and Heber C. Kimball in 1832, as Heber wanted revenge for the Smiths being responsible for the 1826 anti-Mason movement. And Brigham joined to retaliate against the death of his wife, and the church being unable to heal her. I've done those videos for you. And so you wouldn't have the Danites going around getting Joseph Smith in trouble for what he didn't do or cause or order. And so Joseph Smith would not have been assassinated, because Brigham and Heber wouldn't have paid the Warsaw Lodge members to do the assassination and put John Taylor and Willard Richards in the jail with them to make sure that the job was done, so that Brigham can take over and run his kingdom, the great and abominable church. And yet, it had to be, because the Book of Mormon said so. The great and abominable church. It will exist. And so, yeah, it is kind of a speculation to do this video. You know, the softer side of Mormonism. You know, the fluffy, warm, tender feelings, precious moments that never have existed because of of evil existing. And Joseph Smith had planned to have Zion and New Jerusalem, the mountain cities, built before he comes, the Christ of Joseph, Ammon, son Ammon. And so it's not exclusive material to the Restoration channel, because I've talked about it here on these channels, that Joseph Smith, his understanding of the Christ was a mortal man of mortal parents through the great and abominable church, who would rise up and set the Mormons free from their bondage in the great and abominable church. And so, if the church did not betray Joseph and have him murdered, we would have received more scripture from Joseph Smith. He would have gone on to do more translations of the papyri, finish them up, would have gone on to do more of the Hebrew translation of the Bible, so that a guy like me would not have to say, I wonder how Joseph Smith rendered his translations and what the rest of the text would be, so that I would therefore have to go into the field and find out nobody knows. So then I become the scientific decipherer of Paleo-Hebrew, which then led me to decipher Egyptian petroglyphs, which is what Joseph was doing, and then find out that the Bible was written by making translations of the Egyptian petroglyphs. And I've gone over those videos for you. The administration would still remain as Joseph Smith had set it up. So when Joseph Smith dies, the whole Melchizedek priesthood would gather together like an Adam-on-Diamond and hold a big priesthood vote for the successors to the presidency. The presidency. And that's from 107:22. And so that's completely different from the way it is now. See, now we give loyalty oaths to the one who was the president of the Quorum of the 12, and they try to deceive us and say, oh, the Lord came upon us and we knew that the president of the Quorum of the 12 was the right man for the job. You set it up in 1923's Articles of Incorporation. They're still trying to pull that stunt, as if we're voting. Oh, I vote you. I vote for you, Nelson. Oh. And so I did those videos way back in the beginning. Oh, a special announcement? I wonder what it's going to be. Jesus is probably going to tell the world that Nelson is not going to be the guy, and it could be some other guy. Not too many people found that funny. I've had to develop my humor over time to involve more actual laughter, because otherwise it's just British humor from watching Monty Python and other famous British comedians and shows. So most people probably weren't realizing that I was joking. And so yes, my British humor is to the point now where it even makes me laugh. And so the whole administration would be different for us. You know, the Quorum of 12 Apostles would still be doing missionary work, like the mission presidency is today. And we'd still have the High Council, which Brigham merged with the 12 to do away with the High Council. And I found the process of disciplinary courts in the reorganized church, in their Doctrine and Covenants. That was under Joseph Smith. It was signed, Oliver Cowdery and Horse and Hyde. And I meant to check, but I was running out of time. I had to leave yesterday. I doubt it is, but I was finding a lot of things in the Doctrine and Covenants that I didn't think was in there. He was a clerk. Oliver Cowdery was a clerk, which, yes, of course he was, because he was involved in clerking for the construction of the Book of Mormon. And so let's go over the 38 results, see if I can find it, and it should be easy to find because it was the signature of the clerks at the end of it. And yeah, I'm not. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Oh, it is. It's section 102. All right. So disciplinary courts are still in here. Maybe. Yeah, they are. Dissatisfaction with the decision of said council, not the quorum of 12. Section 102. Yeah, okay, good. And so, yeah, these were the ones on the council. Oliver Cowdery, Joseph Coe, Samuel H. Smith, Luke Johnson, John S. Carter, Sylvester Smith, John Johnson, Orson Hyde, Jared Carter, Joseph Smith Sr., John Smith, Martin Harris. Where's Brigham? Brigham Young had this power to discipline and excommunicate people, didn't he? Thomas B. Marsh. This wasn't Brigham. Yeah, Brigham Young was. Brigham Young sent Thomas B. Marsh a letter after having chased him out with the Danites and said, hey, we're holding your excommunication on the 17th of March, 1839. We expect your attendance. He ignored the letter, and Brigham Young went through and excommunicated him. Had nothing to do with the wife and milk. So wait, Gordon B. Hinckley, Thomas S. Monson had those infamous talks in the pulpit of conference, blaming the wife for the excommunication of Thomas B. Marsh, when it was Brigham Young who had no authority. Huh. And there's any wonder why Joseph Smith came back from Liberty Jail and ripped Brigham a new one. Called him Judas for getting rid of Thomas B. Marsh, a good man. Joseph Smith Papers. It's amazing all the things the church has been hiding from us. And yet they have an Illuminati member, Skousen, the brother, Royal Skousen, who's in charge of the Joseph Smith Papers, as they are still covering it up, and you have to click on the link to find out what the true information is. God, like the name of the church, for example. They still put the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but you have to know that it's a link, and that you click on the link, and it'll pop up, originally, Church of Christ. Oh my God! You can't do anything right. You can't just come out and be honest. You have to keep hiding. You have to keep deceiving and lying to us. And so, yeah, all of this would be gone. No Illuminati nonsense. And if you're saying Illuminati, what? Yeah, John C. Bennett. Remember? You know, He was a part of the Danites. Joseph Smith caught him, busted him, excommunicated him for his secret polygamy, of which Joseph was accused by Brigham Young and his gang of practicing in secret to justify them doing it. And so John C. Bennett went crying to the Danites, "Oh, take me in! Joseph excommunicated me! Oh!" And they said, "Get the hell out of here! You're going to expose us, dumbass." So he went to James Strang, which I'm willing to guarantee you, John DeLynn, his interview the other day with the guy talking about James Strang, did not talk about any of that. Here I am giving it to you, and I'm willing to bet this professional in the field of James Strang didn't even bother. So yes, he went to James Strang, convinced him to start polygamy. Somebody just happened to murder James Strang. The organization gone. So John C. Bennett then went and formed his own Illuminati organization. Illuminati, huh? With the inverted pentagram as their symbol, with the anniversary of May 1st, and Brigham Young, for the Nauvoo Temple, dedicated May 1st, has the inverted pentagram between the two sun symbols. I'm sure that's just an oversight on the part of the church, that if they knew, they'd come out and tell us. Oh, wait, it's on the Salt Lake Temple and the Logan Temple too? Uh-oh. I doubt the Salt Lake Temple was dedicated on May 1st, because Brigham Young was dead, I think. Wasn't he dead by then? Because it took 40 years later. So yeah, he would, so. They've long since forgotten. I'm sure even his sons were not informed when Don Carlos Young then carved the Ponderosa Gateway arch. Oops. But everybody says, especially the deep state liberal media, says that the Illuminati are a hoax and they're gone, and it's ridiculous and absurd to think that they're still in existence to this day. And Trump was asked, and he dismissed it, despite his connection with the church, as I've gone over in videos. The oranges of the investigation. He was so pissed. And he came back to check on me. It's so fun to tease evil. But in the culture of Mormonism, everybody would be informed about the coming of Christ, and Joseph Smith would be expanding upon it even further. Yeah, he's going to be a Mormon, and so we need to get the temples going so that you guys can be washed and anointed in the initiatories to become Christs yourselves, so that your future generations could be the lineage who gives birth to the Mormon Christ and the Mormon Christa. And people would be naming them in accordance with Joseph Smith's prophecy. You'd see more sun gods. That's his name, sun god. And people would purposely marry the right woman in the hopes that the parents would be the ones to give birth. But Joseph Smith would tell you, oh no, don't, it's okay. It's during this time period when conception is to occur for his coming, for his actual birthday. And they'd know the birthday, they'd know the place, they'd know the hour. And so, yeah, Mormons would purposely alter their lives to be the ones, to be the parents of this future Christ and Christa. And Christ and Christa are not the names, by the way. I've already gone over it with you. And the whole Mormon experience would be a whole lot different. They'd have Jerusalem and New Jerusalem, or New Jerusalem and Zion built. Mormons would be gathering. They'd already be gathered by now, because the dates for the latter days are 2017 to 2024. And so we would know that there are certain things that are going to happen that we would need to protect ourselves from, and thus the gathering. The stopping of missionary work, the gathering until the world destroys themselves, and then we emerge for the marriage feast of the supper of the Lamb, where Christ and Christa get married, and oh, it's so beautiful! Oh, she must be the wedding planner. She must live a glorious, glamorous life. Jennifer Lopez does a video, Wedding Planner. Great movie, not mocking it in the least. I own it. It is an essential DVD that is digitized. You saved my shoe. It was touch and go there. We might have to operate. If you've not seen the movie, you don't know why I'm laughing. And so, yeah, everything would all be set up, ready to go, as we would all be safe, secure, or place of safety, refuge, and peace. We would be at peace, we would have refuge, we would be safe from what's going on right now. And yet, nope. And so, yeah, that's what the world would be like if Joseph Smith was not assassinated. If the Danites did not infiltrate the church and destroy it with Joseph Smith's assassination and become the great and abominable church. A whole new world. A whole new world. There we go. There's the theme song. Or we can find the Wedding Planner soundtrack, take a song from there. We'll see. I'll put it in the description below. So a little addition at the end of this here, as I was looking for a picture from the Wedding Planner to use for the video. The Salt Lake Tribune, 23 minutes ago, when it's now 24 or 25 minutes ago, had an article, How the Community of Christ Differs from its larger sister LDS sect. Isn't that an interesting coincidence? Salt Lake Tribune, are you watching my channel? Are you aware, or is it being passed down to you? Peggy Fletcher Stack, the one who was given the death threat by President Russell M. Nelson on his inaugural meeting, that fateful day when I was making all sorts of British humor jokes. And he ignored her second question. And then when she pointed it out to him, he then brushed it off anyway and didn't even answer it. Oh my goodness. Hilarious. And so, yeah, it's just a short little thing, and then you're supposed to click to the Mormon land and most likely subscribe in order to listen. And a beautiful picture of their, as it has been mocked by Mormon peers, the snow cone temple. It was like a snow or a ice cream cone upside down. Ruined that one. Joseph Smith's widow. Now, yeah, Joseph Smith III, which I can go on this. I was thinking about this morning as well. But Joseph Smith III, too young to run the church. And Joseph is dead. Brigham Young took all the major documents and fled the country. And so when Joseph Smith III was old enough, he took the trip across the mighty Mississippi. I have to actually cross, yeah. So I came to Utah to check on how the church was running the church. And so that's why Joseph Smith III has lots of things common with, but yeah, no. So even he got it wrong. But let's see, wedding, banner, movie. Matthew McConaughey before he went Jesus freak on us. Oh, there's the penis. If you haven't seen the movie, you are not going to understand. Oh, there's the picture. There it is. There it is. He just saves the shoe. They're looking into each other's eyes. And I'll have to come up with some kind of comment to go over the top of it. Perfect.